Hi, I'm Sharnika, and I'm from the Lens of Youth program as an ambassador, and thank you for being here with us. Today we are with Sneha, and we'll be having an interview. So I heard you started your martial arts journey at the True Martial Arts Center in Sammamish, which is actually a studio. So would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, I moved to Sammamish when I was 4, and when I was really young, I was diagnosed with a balance disability. So when we came to Sammamish, my parents found True Martial Arts because it's super close to our house, and we found that it had a special needs program, the SNAP program, and because it had the SNAP program, my parents enrolled me in it to kind of consistently work on my balance issues, and I was able to graduate from that program when I was 7 or 8 years old, and now I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, a second degree black belt. So I've come a long way, and 2 years ago I decided I wanted to give back to the program that has given me so much, because I feel like I am the person that I am today because of Taekwondo and because of SNAP, and so I just wanted to give back. So I decided to return to SNAP as an instructor. So I've been teaching SNAP for 2 years now, and I've seen students come, students go, but I've just been amazed by how much students really care about growing and learning Taekwondo, even with all of the challenges that they face.
That was extremely inspiring from your side, and such a great story, honestly. So how do you think you've grown since starting at True Martial Arts?
Like I said, I think I've grown a lot as a person, and I honestly don't know who I would be if I didn't have Taekwondo. But I know that when I started off in TMA, there was this one instructor who has stayed with me through SNAP, through to black belt, and she's still my instructor now. And I feel like because she has known me for so long, she knew my ability, she knew my limitations through the disability, and even through the ranks, like when I was able to do certain skills a little bit better that I had learned at white belt, yellow belt. She consistently gave me adaptations for newer skills that I wasn't able to perform, like a reverse jump side kick. I wasn't able to do that in the beginning, so she would tell me to just do a reverse side kick and then add the jump in later, and she knew what I was able to do, and now I'm able to do a reverse jump side kick because I kept practicing, but because she gave me that kind of adaptation, I felt empowered to do what my peers were doing, even though it was at a slightly lower level. And I feel like I've grown into the sort of person that doesn't wait for somebody to give me an adaptation anymore, because I've realized that the people in my life aren't going to stay with me forever. Like, my instructor has stayed with me for a long time, but a lot of people that I've met in the past 2 years don't even know that I have this disability. So anytime I enter a new situation, I enter a new class, I'll tell the teacher, like, hey, I have this thing where I press down on the paper really hard because I have coordination issues, and it's not really noticeable anymore, because I think the balance disability part of it was kind of a thing that I had to work on to get better. That's not necessarily the case in everyone's situation, but I have gotten better, so it's not noticeable, but it's still a struggle for me. So I tell my teachers, like, hey, I have to spend more time on timed writing assignments. Like, it's really difficult for me to write in the certain amount of time that I have, and even though I'm not on an IEP, I feel like because I've been through so many situations where I have had adaptations, I'm okay with not having an adaptation anymore, and I just advocate for myself and tell my teacher, like, hey, this is the case, and they know when, like, maybe I'm writing a little bit slower, they know why that is the case.
Advocating for yourself is extremely important for anyone in terms of what your limitations are. So what is some advice you'd like to give to people who face similar challenges but at a younger age?
I think if I was going to give my younger self some advice, I would tell her to have more patience with herself. And I know that's a really difficult thing to put into practice, because I remember, like, I would get super frustrated when I wasn't able to run at recess with my friends, or I couldn't throw a ball when I was playing catch. But understanding my limitations and just being okay with waiting until I had the strength, and being okay with not being normal, quote unquote normal, is was something that I learned over time. And I think also, I used to think that because I have this disability, I'm never going to be normal. But the main thing is, challenges don't define you. They're not the person that you are. They are a vehicle to become a stronger person. I feel like I've become such a strong person because of TMA, and I've talked about this so many times. But it's not just TMA. The environment is amazing, but it's that I have pushed myself to grow as a martial artist and to grow out of my early struggles with balance. So even though that I had that challenge, that the person I am is a resilient person. I'm a person who speaks up for herself. I am not a person who has bad coordination. Like, that's not something that people think of when they think of me. So, like, I think it's really important just to understand that you are a person underneath all of the physical or mental stress that you have. You are a different person, and you are your values, and you are what you try to make out of what you've been given.
Yeah. Patience is for sure a really big part for anyone to get over any challenges, and it often always takes some time. So thank you for attending this interview. Thank you for being with us here today. I know we did take up a bit of your time, but okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I really hope that something I said resonated with somebody or is able to help somebody in some way.